Okay, that is my second video about my philosophical groundwork, and I want to explain a bit more about appearance. And well, basically, it's an important concept of mine. Perhaps it's not even mine because I guess many people thought this kind of thing before me. However, I just think that perhaps my explanation of appearance might be a different one from other philosophers, even if I'm perhaps only thinking that I'm producing something new, but perhaps it won't have any recognition, which is fine because it's useful for me in a way. It doesn't need to be useful for other people. But I'm sharing it, however. And, well, basically, why is it appearance, not totality? Might be a question, because in a way, appearance is a more uh, um, the better totality in a way, because with totality you think of something exterior to yourself, but with appearance it's yourself in a way. And through yourself, through explaining yourself, through uh, making sense of what your senses see and get, you reach the totality of our modern day and time. Well, not just of our modern day and time, but the truth in a way. So, well, basically, one perhaps should again think of a definition of appearance. There, this isn't the definition of appearance. Appearance is not just this definition, but how you can recognize appearance from everything else. This definition is more a key to find appearance out of all the other things than a definition which is the essence of appearance. This is basically all we experience, see, think, and recognize in a way. Yes, what is appearance made of? What are the attributes and things in it, of things in appearance? Basically, the first is the notion of particularity. Every appearance is a particular. In what way? In this way. You have experienced many different moments, and in this moment you experience something else than in the other. And the point of interest is that you can focus on things, and then they are in a way the only things that appear. And with with the particularity also there is a necessity for another concept, which is also fundamental to understand appearance, and this is the concept of continuation. The continuation is following. If you have a set of appearances which are particular, the continuation causes that you just don't experience the particular appearance as a totality. It's not a totality, because at the next moment you are somewhere else and you know that the next moment will happen. So there is a continuity between the singular moments of your appearance of your particular appearances. And yes, to continue, also, it might seem to be contradicting that something can be particular but continuous, but both are in a way fundamental because they um, they are in a way just the half, just not the point of truth, but it's an overdetermination in a way because we obviously can only think in overdetermination. This means perhaps in exaggeration also. And by saying that those two things are in appearance, I just recognize two different concepts in it, but I don't put them right. Only can put them into one another by by making them more than they are. And you will also see that both are in a way implying each other. And I will elaborate that now. Um, Without the particularity, you wouldn't have the continuity because you would just experience this moment and there would be nothing else. And without the particularity, you wouldn't see any continuity in appearance because there wouldn't be no beginning and no end. In a way, you wouldn't have the means to focus on something because all is just fluctuating. And therefore, both terms are in a way linked together and they necessitate each other. And there's, of course, a third topic, a third ingredient in a way for appearance to be whole, and that's the idea. Because by explaining this, I form ideas, and they are inherent to it, in the sense that without the idea, without the concept of the idea to express those things, they never are truly there in a way. And think of following. What? Yes. Let's say. Let's say there wouldn't be the idea, and we want to describe it. Basically, we couldn't, because towards describing something, we need to make something less out of something whole. It's the process of selection, simplification, and non-contradiction. However, but non-contradiction isn't inherent to the idea, it's basically perhaps just a positive attribute of it. But in a way, the idea doesn't work without its non-contradictory attributes. It's somehow necessary. And without continuity and particularity, you wouldn't be able to form the idea, because, as I said, the idea relies on the concepts I have elaborated on my last video. This means simplifying, choosing, and non-contradiction. And you even can't focus without the particularity, and without, because both imply each other, we can on a formal logical way say that therefore all must imply each other. But I also can give the example of the continuity. Without the continuity, you would just have the one appearance and nothing more, and you wouldn't have the means to choose between one thing. You wouldn't have any means to distinguish two objects from one another, because all is just one single moment, one single totality. And well, so far so good, because in the next time I will go to each term I used now. This means particularity, idea. Idea, of course, you can call representation to a certain extent, and I will also elaborate more on continuity. I don't know how much time I will spend with that, because therefore I perhaps will make just one video or just do two. And yes, this is basically all. I'm not quite sure how YouTube manages to, but basically, well, I will stop because that's not interesting. That's my personal stuff. And also, perhaps I should elaborate following. This is my Hegelianism in a way, because I checked it somewhat up, and if I understand Hegelianism, if anyone understands Hegelianism, I don't know if there are people who do understand it. I just described one of his triangles, because appearance, well, the words I just said, the notions I expressed it until now, build a triangle. But I didn't want basically them to do this, but in a way it comes to it. But of course I should mention that those terms are linked together and they necessitate each other. More is not to say about it. And also I should say that all three are only together the true appearance. Without one another you would lose a part of reality. And why is all that what I explained interesting? It is interesting because it explains our reality in the world in a way, because we rely on those concepts without truly recognizing them, I think. And therefore it's somewhat worth it to recognize. Also, this is not truly necessary to acquire knowledge. It is basically in a way ontological, it's not epistemological. Because all the stuff with simplification and so on, which I discussed in my first video, this is truly necessary for acquiring knowledge. That's all. Bye.